It's time to take you on that social ride. And as I said earlier, Mercy is here with me. Mercy, what's buzzing?
Let's start from ASU strike.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's one that is, it's been around for like 7 months, yeah? 7 months.
And again, it's not the first time it's happening in Nigeria. It's like an annual festival in Nigeria.
Yep.
But at this time, it's not a good festival.
It's not. No, it's not. Everyone is tired.
So like 2 days ago, National Association of Nigeria Students blocked the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. And you saw the message the Minister for Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, sent to them. But now they have a message for him. The National Association of Nigeria Students has asked the management of the University of Benin to withdraw the degree certificate it issued to Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola. Following the minister's message on Wednesday, he said the obstruction of the vehicular movement on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway by Nans is a violation of the law. He said, and I quote, "The right to protest is very well protected right in our constitution, but it does not include the right to inflict pain and inconvenience on other people. And so, while the protests can go on, they should refrain from blocking the road in order to do their protest. That itself is a violation of law," Fashola said. Reacting to this, the Nans spokesperson Giwa Temitope said, the minister's statement showed that he is immersed in a big contraction in terms of what the law says.
Interesting.
So nobody in Nigeria at this point is happy with what is going on with the ongoing ASU strike. Again, for a Nigerian student, it's tiring.
It's tiring.
What you plan to do for just 3.5 years or 4 years, now you're ending up doing it 5 years, 6 years. And again, for them now, they don't even know their fate at the moment. So in as much as I don't support them blocking the expressway because other people have to go, businesses have to just continue. But they're just looking for a way to make the federal government hear their plight, like hear their cry. Listen to us. Can this thing just come to an end? We are just tired.
I think quickly, yes, the minister is right, and you can understand where he's coming from, the side of the law, that your right to protest is well entrenched in the law and it's protected. But you shouldn't also, in the process of exercising the right, cause inconvenience or harm or pain, inflict pain to other people. Having said that, there's certain protests or movements that similarly requires that mass mobilization of people where virtually every, road network is shut down. Yes, in Nigeria, you want to say the NSAS was a similar thing. But if you even take it down some Sena climbs, I know that's been an argument. It was during the NSAS protest that, as much as they had the right to do that, they shouldn't have blocked other people who were, going about their duties. They, cost some people financial deals or monies lost and all of that. But if you look at Sena climbs, for example, your Black Lives Movement in the United States, that was a massive mobilization against racial inequality and injustice in the States, bettered by, George Floyd's murder. You could see that the streets everywhere was literally on shutdown, but it had to be orderly. So I can understand the minister on one hand that as much as you have a right to protest, maybe just a section of the road, and make it orderly rather than shutting down, the entire road network or the expressway as it were. That's one. On the other hand, those who are saying, like the Nans, saying, the minister doesn't know what he's saying because they have the right to protest and they've not done anything, they simply blocked the road. I'm sure they are probably taking a cue from other Sena claims where we've seen these things happen. I've just given an example of Black Lives Matter. But having said that, I think there are ways we can also go about exercising our right to protest in such a way that it doesn't harm the next person, either in terms of meeting up with their engagements, maybe, medical appointments or what have you, just so that you do not inflict further pain on other people.
So, but why do you think Nigeria's National Association of Nigeria Students are asking for the withdrawal of the certificate?
No,
graduated for University of Benin.
It's one of those things. But you really look at it as he infringed on the law. What would require his certificate being withdrawn by the school? So I don't think they will do that. He's represented the school in good light. I mean, two-time governor, two-time minister, and all of that.
And I want to see it from this angle that during his time in the university, there was nothing like ASU strike. Your own education was smooth. Ours has been interrupted, not just once, not twice, but steady, and it's becoming a regular thing. But now we just want to cry out, and we don't care what is going on.
Let's see. Interestingly, when Babatunde Fashola was the governor of Lagos State, I can remember vividly that there was a strike action, a protest by LASU students Lagos State
Lagos
University,
State University.
Houston. I think the school fees was about 250,000, and they sat down, made a protest and all in front of the governor's office. At some point, they brought out your big, cooking pots. They call it ikokore in Yoruba. Those giant pots that they use for parties. And they were cooking beans there. They said they had no problem.
We are here to stay.
And then we're willing to give the governor, and he came out to address them, and within days it was resolved.
Okay.
So I'm not surprised this is really happening.
Let's hear what Nigerians are saying. At Saben01 says, please, are you happy how things are going in the country? Then at the Joe for Jagaban says, what has that got to do with his certificate? Of course.
Apparently.
Then at Sabi again said, this student have been on strike for 6 months now. Just imagine what Fashola is saying. Fashola is not wrong.
He hasn't said anything too much. He simply said the rights are protected.
I'm not saying you shouldn't protest, but do it the right way.
The other person.
Then we have one more reaction here. Then at Sally08 says, you can protest and not block the rights of other road users.
Because there's rights to, there's freedom of movement. So when you now infringe on other people's freedoms, just because you're protesting, it's contradictory. So again, I understand the plight of, or the stance rather, of the minister. I also understand that of Nans, but we should just ensure that while pushing for our rights, we do not infringe on other people's rights. And we just hope this
strike thing can just come to an end.
Hopefully.
And again, for a very long time in Nigeria, we will not yet strike.
I'm hoping. It's sometimes difficult when the federal government is reneging on promises. Moreover, the economic terms, when the government goes into agreement, oftentimes, it's based on the projection of what to expect in the future. But no one expects a war that would impact on global economy like your Russia-Ukrainian war or what have you. So sometimes the government is also handicapped in terms of what influences the economy. We just hope
this will not happen next year, because it's becoming a yearly thing. Then moving on, Ishak Oloyede, the registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has revealed that Nigerians should be made to pay more than the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination in exchange for financial autonomy for the board. Oloyede, who spoke before the House Committee on Finance on Wednesday, said the examination body does not have to be catered for in the annual budget. If it is allowed to hike up the cost of UTME form from 3,500 to 5,000, an increase of about 40%. The registrar said the cost was reduced in 2017 as JAMB is not a revenue-generating entity. Oloyede said this will allow the body to be fully independent. So what the JAMB registrar is asking for literally is an increase in the JAMB form. For now, it's being sold for 3,500 naira. But it's saying, okay, for us to have financial autonomy, we want to be independent. Can we just increase this money to 5,000 naira? For me, as Nigeria, I'm not saying they shouldn't increase the money for 5,000 naira, but why should JAMB even be a yearly thing? Okay, for a secondary school student that have graduated with good grades, you have to sit and write JAMB for you to get admission into the university. So if you compare it to the likes of IELTS, this English text examination, the span is 2 years. JAMB is 1 year, and you're not even sure you'll get that admission.
You can even pass JAMB,
yes, you are not sure,
and you still don't get through.
The admission.
Again, it's just the way the system is. Remember this whole issue of financial autonomy and all. It's not only with JAMB. For example, INEC, that also talks that for INEC to really be independent, it has to fund itself. So, but let's bring this back to the issue of JAMB. I think 3,500 to 5,000 is relatively decent, 40% quite all right. But that those who tell you, even when it was at 3,500, some parents struggled to pay. They struggled to purchase the form for their wards. How much more when you increase it to 5,000 there? But if, and genuinely if, that when it's increased to 5,000, the body will be fully funded by itself, then maybe it's an option to explore. You never can tell. Then I think, as you've said, there was once a bill, on the floor of the National Assembly, the House of Reps precisely, about the possibility of extending the validity of JAMB to about 3 years or so. I don't know. I think it got to the second reading. I'm not sure if that saw the light of day apart from the second reading.
So talking about the educational system, the initial story was about strike. This is about JAMB. So what's even the fate of Nigerian students? Okay, after writing JAMB, will I even be able to get admission into university? Okay, so the people that wrote JAMB last year, they're still waiting for admission. They're
still waiting, which is quite unfortunate. I hope that going forward we resolve these things.
We've been open for a long time in Nigeria.
No, it's what it is. We have backlogs of students are waiting admission. Let's see if we're able to get that through, you know, at the end of the day. But it's been a nice time, you know, talking all these issues with you on social media.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And that's been the size of our package today. It's been IBrand Daybreak, and we hope that we've been able to educate you, especially on the federal government's border security, among other things. Mercy, help us with a quote just before we leave.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just have to wrap up the show right about now. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Samson Olede. Until the show comes your way tomorrow, do have the best of the day.
And I'm Mercy Money. Have a fruitful day.